This DIY Cooking with Connie. Today I'm going to fix some chicken thighs. And what I do, I dry them off with paper towel to begin with. And then another little trick that I've got is I use Watkins chicken, and it's soup and gravy base. And I take a little bit of the seasoning and I lift up the skin and I put a little bit of that underneath the skin to each piece of chicken that I'm fixing. And it's simple to do. You just sprinkle it on there, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to wash off my hands. Now, I am going to add to that, I'm going to put a little salt on everything. Not much, because I'm going to have salt in my flour, and a little pepper. I got to keep an eye on my grease here. I'm going to kind of set that off till I get ready for it. I've got some bacon grease in the pan. It's a cast iron skillet. And I just like the bacon flavor that goes with this chicken. And here I've got probably 2 cups of flour. I've got salt and pepper. And then I've also got the chicken soup and gravy by Watkins. I've got it sprinkled in there. So we're going to get a good flavoring. And get that back on there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll my chicken in my flour. Get it ready for the frying pan. But I'm not going to fry this chicken all the way. I'm just going to brown it good. Give it a good coating. And I tell you what I use to do this in, this pan here. You know, you get these trays when you get meat. I always wash one out really good. And they're perfect for stuff like this. And if you screw up, make a mess in it, you can pitch it. So I'm going to pitch this in the trash can. There, I got my chicken all rolled, and it's ready to go in the frying pan. The stove's kind of off balance today. I guess it kind of goes along with me. Put my chicken in there. I'm going to put its skin down. I'm going to wash my hands again. And you are through with this. And what I do, I dispose of it in the trash can, because I don't want to use that again. Because when you get raw chicken in there, you don't want to use that flour for anything else, because you've had the raw chicken in it. And chicken is something that you really have to be careful with. You know, you don't want it on your surfaces and stuff, because it can contaminate other stuff. So my chicken is browning, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to brown my chicken on both sides. And then I'll come right back. This DIY Cooking with Connie. So you can see I've got my chicken nice and brown. So from there, what I do, I will take I used a can of cream of chicken soup. It's just best choice. And I dumped it into 2 cups of chicken broth. Right here, as you can see. I'm adding that to my chicken here. Then on top of that, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. Now I'm going to put this on about medium-low. And this is going to cook for a couple hours. So I'll come back and I will show you how it looks. Now what I do with my broth that I've got in there, after the chicken is done, I'll take it out and then I'll take a little cornstarch and a little cold water and mix it together. Probably around 2 to 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. Depends on how much broth you got. And you add that just a little bit at a time and stir. And as soon as it starts getting thick, add no more. And it's delicious. Having your chicken, your gravy, fix you some mashed potatoes, a vegetable, and a salad. You've got a full dinner. And you just don't have to cook 4 chicken thighs. You can cook as many as you want. You can also cook that in the slow cooker. And if you cook it in the slow cooker, if you cook it on low, it'll probably take 4 to 6 hours. Or cook it on high and it'll probably take 4 hours to get it where the chicken's just falling off the bone. So I'll be back with you to show you the end results. Thank you for joining me. As you can see, I've got my chicken done and it's very tender. And I'm going to move that over to my plate. The falling apart. You can see how nice it is inside. And I cooked some potatoes. So I'm going to dip up me some potatoes. Now when you're fixing potatoes, the way I like them, a lot of people like them with just butter and a little milk in them. And I do put that in there. But then I add a couple of tablespoons of sour cream and some chives or parsley. It makes it look pretty. And I've got my broth on from my chicken getting hot. And I have got my cornstarch here. And I got a cup of water. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. I've got a teaspoon I'm working with, so be a little patient with me. That ought to do it. And I'm going to mix that together. My broth is starting to boil. So you want to get your cornstarch completely mixed up with your water. It'll feel really thick on the bottom when you start. Just keep stirring and it will dissolve in with your water. And that's going to be my thickening agent to put in with that. And I put in a little bit at a time and I stir. I'm using a whip here. And so I'm going to start adding a little bit of my cornstarch. It won't take much to make my gravy. Now if you're making this for a bigger family, I would say you probably have to double the recipe on your broth and your cream of chicken. And on top of the stove, like I cooked this, which took about a couple hours, you have to add your little more broth every so often. Keep an eye on it. I cook it with a lid on it. And then you fix you a salad, some vegetables to go with this. And you want, once you've added your cornstarch and water in here, you want it to cook a little bit because you won't want that cornstarch taste. You want it to cook out. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm cooking that out. And I don't want a thick gravy like you would white gravy, because this is more of the consistency, can you talk, of brown gravy. And you have a simple dinner. Of course, like I said, you can use a slow cooker on this, which is also, you know, easy. You can put it on, forget about it, and go ahead and do what you need for the day. But this is looking pretty good. So I'm going to call this done. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to my potatoes. And this is a finished product of my mashed potatoes and my chicken thighs and my gravy. I hope you've enjoyed this little episode, and I hope you will try it. So have a good evening, enjoy each other, and have a blessed day. Thank you.